Hello grade 5s. Today we're looking at something called rate. Now we're going to be doing exercise 142.3 on page 267. Now let's look at what rate means. It is the relationship between two different units of measurement. Now remember a little while ago we did ratio. And ratio was comparing things that are similar. For example, we would compare cats to dogs because they are both animals. Or we would compare veggies to fruit because they are both things that we eat. Now, rate is comparing things that are not similar. They are completely different to one another. So let's have a look at what I mean by that. You've all seen signs on the road that say 90 kilometers per hour. There's one on the way to school saying that. Now, kilometers are a measurement that is physical. It's on the ground. We can measure it by driving it. Hours can't be measured on the ground. Hours are time. Kilometers and hours are two completely different units of measurement, and yet we are comparing them because what we're looking at there is how far we can go in what time. So let's look at an example. If I travel at 100 kilometers per hour. That means it's going to take me 1 hour to drive 100 kilometers. I want to know how far I'm going to travel in 2 hours. So I'm going to, underneath, write the 2 hours. And I need to figure out how many kilometers I drive in those 2 hours. So let's look at how we do that. What did I do to 1 hour to make 2 hours? I multiplied it by 2. Now this is exactly like fractions. What you do to the one side, you must do to the other side. So I must multiply 100 kilometers by 2. And 100 times by 2 is 200 kilometers. So there is my answer. If I travel 100 kilometers in 1 hour, I will travel 200 kilometers in 2 hours. Let's have a look at another one. Let's pretend that I run. And let's pretend that I run 10 meters in 5 seconds in my dreams, hey? So now, I want to know how far I'm going to run in 1 minute. So, what did I do to 5 seconds to make 1 minute? Remember that 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. So 5 times what makes 60? Well, 5 times 12 makes 60, if you remember your times tables. And what I do to one side, I must do to the other side. And 10 times by 12 is 120. So, there is my answer. If I run 10 meters in 5 seconds, I will run 120 meters in 1 minute. Let's do one more. If I write 20 words in 10 seconds, how many words will I write in 5 seconds? Now, what did I do to 10 to make 5? I cut it in half. And when we cut something in half, we divide it by 2. And what I do to one side, I must do to the other. So I must divide this side by 2 or cut it in half as well. And 20 divided by 2 is 10. So there is my answer. If I write 20 words in 10 seconds, I will write 10 words in 5 seconds. So remember, if this number is getting smaller, then we divide. Whereas if we look back at this one, if this number is getting bigger, then we multiply. Now, there will also be a worksheet that you can download, and there will be some questions on ratio and some questions on rate.